over dependent on being connected, or let's say over connected to technology. Over connected to technology. Now, checking mails every now and then, checking messages every now and then creates anxiety in us. Being online all the time means distracted all the time. Anytime one ping happens, I have to take care. And if I have replied to someone and I am waiting for that reply and the reply does not come, slowly I get a little irritated, or in some cases a little scared. Am I being ignored? Will they reply? Did they not like? I don't know how many of you get opportunities to meet these super successful people. But if you do, you will find some of them, even when they are on the stage in a panel discussion, they cannot stay away without their phones. The panel discussion is on, but they are still checking something. What they had to say, they have said. What others are saying, they are not even listening. It could have been a speech by them for 5 minutes and they could have jolly well gone down. But if you are a panel, you will find in office meetings it is happening. The boss said something and then others are saying something. Now boss is not even listening to them, he is already busy on the phone. Therefore at home, when the family is together or the husband and wife are talking or the kids are saying something, one eye is still on the phone. नहीं तुम बोलो मैं सुन रहा है. Stupid mistake by smart people. And as a result of this, quality reading suffers. I am reading so much bakwas. On Holy Day, I will have 100 happy holies. Where some would have felt about you and sent you a message. But for most, you are a part of a broadcast list. But you have to see every picture which somebody is sending. Kaisa hai happy Holi? Now in this time, quality reading goes for a toss. For example, who gains the maximum when India and Pakistan fight?
India.
China. Why is China ensuring that India and Pakistan fight? There is a very old philosophy, and the philosophy is, in a war, it is not a person who wins or loses who benefits. Both people in a war go back at least by 1 or 2 decades. 10 से 20 साल पीछे चले जाते हैं उन लोग, irrespective of who's won. But the person who wins in a war is the person who controls the debt. So India and Pakistan are fighting because the fight has happened. Both need to upgrade their weapons. I have to buy weapons. I don't have money, so I take debt. Now the country has to pay that debt. Now the person who has given me debt tomorrow will ask for a few favors. They will arm twist me, or they will say, otherwise repay my debt. And I cannot repay the debt. So even if I win the war, I am in debt. And the person who controls my debt actually controls my destiny. Every war produces a lot of debt. And the person who controls that debt has won the war. There is only one way to actually win the war. Avoid the war. Which is what we discussed, I think, about 4 life lessons. So there are some beautiful people who know how to analyze a situation and you would know how to present it. Today in the world, the most powerful security advisor is India's Ajit Doval. He's the only person who has deep relationships with the spy agencies as well as the terrorist groups. In Syria, when 180 people were kidnapped and the Syrian government wanted to get the hostages released, they first went to Mossad. They tried, much didn't happen. They went to CIA, tried, much didn't happen. Then they came to Ajit Doval. Because both CIA and Mossad said, the only person today who has a relationship, deep relationship with both sides is Ajit Doval of India. Ajit Doval got the hostages released in less than 24 hours. Extraordinarily well connected. How did he do that? Why did it take 12 days for India to retaliate? In these 12 days, what did Indian diplomatic services do? In 12 days' time. How come India attacked and not a single country in the world said, you should not go into any other country and attack? What was done in 12 days? Who did it? Are the other governments morally speaking about what is happening? Or is there a lot of background maneuvering which is happening for this to happen? Politics is fundamentally a story of mutual benefits. Politics is never about morality. So these countries who are saying again and again, Pakistan is wrong, and yesterday when Trump says, if Pakistan attacks again, that will be a very impossible thing. Which means America is threatening Pakistan in case there is another attack which happens like that. Even we might send our forces and help India in attacking you. अब इससे ज़्यादा क्लियर दुनिया में कोई नहीं बोल सकता. How come America is saying that right now? Is it that America is using India to win the war against China? Because China has maximum dollars in the world. India has 400 billion, China has a few trillion dollars. And if China sells these dollars in the international market, God only knows what will happen to dollars. So America cannot attack China directly. So it needs people who can stand up to China. And the only Prime Minister in the world who has shown the capacity is Narendra Modi. Not promoting BJP. Who could have the forces at Doklam, even though it is Bhutan, but said we won't back off. क्या करने का कर ले. So China knows India is not a pushover. नहीं, उसको डरा नहीं सकते, उसको धमका नहीं सकते. हम माल नहीं भेजेंगे, ड्यूटी लगा देंगे, जो करने का कर. It is calling the bluff of people. मतलब ये धमकी नहीं सुनने का हमको किसी का भी, दुनिया में किसी का धमकी नहीं सुनने का. Why this is being done? Which are the countries which are supporting India? Therefore, China is not fighting India openly. When you understand all these, in a micro level, you'll understand how you need to get ahead in your business. दुकान में बैठा है, ग्राहक आएगा, ग्राहक को बेचेगा, वापस चला जाएगा, ऐसे. That's good for dal roti. But a lot of coordination is required for something mammoth to happen. There are enough people who write on these topics. Now these are classic good writings. People who observe, people who watch, and people who are connected. If politics interests you. But because we are supremely connected all the time, we miss out reading on these commentaries. Like, how many of you read that book Homo Sapiens? No one? Okay.
Homo
Sapiens. You have the book at home.
Is it politics?
No. It's not politics at all. It's human evolution. It's 25,000 years of human history. With a mention about what have been the inflection points. How has the world changed and why did the world change? Which people played a role in changing the world? How is the human mind wired? What are the weaknesses that we have to be careful about ourselves? And where is it that humans will always excel? Even if AI and ML takes over our world, artificial intelligence and machine learning, what is it that human beings will still be required to do? So should we be afraid of technology or not? Homo sapiens. The author is a guy called Harari. If you want to read something good, and he's written it in a brilliant, interesting way. It's not an essay, it's not like a film documentary. Extraordinary writing. You will not be able to put the book down. Brilliant it is. Okay, those of you who want, watch a YouTube video of Harari speaking at a function organized by Penguin in Bombay a few weeks ago. I think it's about a 30-minute video. But in that 30-minute, he gives a gist of 3 books that he's written. If you have to read that book, some of you might take 2 to 3 years to read these books. Because each book is mota. I think each book must be 1,500 pages or something like that. Some of you may use it only for weightlifting. Mota hai. But if you like knowledge, and if you wonder about who we were, who we are, and who we will be, it's a book that I very strongly recommend. In fact, he is the author I very strongly recommend to all of you. The 3 books, pick up any book and read. But I think these books should be in every home here. कभी 5 मिनट का टाइम है ना, don't check your WhatsApp. First, just open any page and read 3-4 pages. Brilliant English, so you will really like the language. And he's a very young guy. I think Harari might be about 40, 45. Very young guy. He's taken the whole world by storm. And very research-based books. At a personal level, because I'm an Indian, The complaint that I have from Harari is he's kind of ignored the Indian subcontinent as a part of evolution. He doesn't mention about India's impact on the world. And India has had glorious impact on the world if you go back 1500, 2000 years ago. The spiritual masters or the books that we have, the Vedas, they are so scientific and brilliantly, but that has completely been ignored. Maybe because he didn't have exposure to that. That's the only complaint you can have against Harari. Now when I live in a world where I am completely connected to distractions, we don't get time to these, and these things expand your mind. Expand your mind like nobody's business. If you read this book of his and you read the first 25 pages, you will be filled with wonder. Multiple times you will say, wow, it's such a beautiful book. I love that book. So second stupid mistake that we do, is the second or the third? Third stupid mistake that we do is, I won't even say dependent, but probably over-indulgent of technology. And my complaint about that is, we don't meet interesting people, we don't read interesting stuff. Now how many of you like books? Okay, so many of you, beautiful. Now you should go to billgates.com or do a Google research on books Bill Gates recommends. Every year Bill Gates recommends 10 books and he's been doing it for the past few years. Now if the richest man in the world is reading and recommending some, so if he is recommending 10 books, how many books he would have read? He has time to read. Some of us are a little more busy than he is. He reads at least one book every week. He says, I prefer to read 2, but some weeks I am able to read only 1. He says with a lot of regret. Because he says there's so much to learn in books. So now imagine a guy like Bill Gates, if he has to learn, where will he go? He goes to books. And one of you rightly said, Mukul rightly said that sometimes smart people think, मेरे से ज़्यादा कोई तो होशियार है ही नहीं, books क्या पढ़ने का? तुम बैठो, मैं तुमको बोलता ना. I really believe that reading should become a culture in every person's life. And let's see if we can make this as a culture in our children's life. If books are their friends, they won't go off track. Because the books won't tell them to do the wrong things. The books will bring them back to the right things.